relationship and how you arrived to where you are today as a couple.
Who do you want to start?
Well, why don't you start?
Me? Okay. Well, I met my husband when I was 17. We dated, and a year and a half later, we got married. We lived in New Jersey. We lived in Florida twice. We lived in now Tennessee. So we had 2 children, Paul, the oldest, and Pamela, the next one. And they had.
You don't have to give names, it's okay. You can say.
But Paul had 5 children. Pam had 4. And when she was 16, she got pregnant with her 2 of them, the twins. So they lived with us for quite a while, until the twins were 10. And Danny worked, well, I worked and did babysitting. I did retail. And when we came here, we bought our home, and the house by my son's house came available, so we moved into that house. Then Paul lived with us for a while, and she has now bought our home, and we're living in a mobile home. So that's our life, and we are both Christians. We're Christians. We go to Buffin Heights Baptist Church. We are happy. So far, being old is not what we thought it would be, but we're alive.
In a good way or a bad way?
Well, not as good as we thought it would be.
What were
Not bad. Not
yeah.
Because of, well, the corona, number 1, and health issues. But other than that, I mean, it's not like what we thought it would be. We thought we'd be traveling, doing more, and we had to stop traveling. So now we're looking forward to starting again.
It's exciting. Is there anything you wanted to add to the story of your relationship?
No, she talks about our travel and all the 2 trips, one to Europe on a bus tour and one to Alaska on a cruise. All our travel really amounted to back and forth to our daughter's house in Colorado. That was our only real travel. I'm sorry, we forgot about Japan. We did do it in Japan with the twins.
Wow.
I did a lot more traveling than that with the Air Force Reserve. So, my last tour, I managed to get my wife to fly out, to California, and kind of had like a mini vacation out there. I used to work a half a day, and then I'd get the rental car and go pick her up, and we'd go sightseeing.
Anything else significant to your relationship that's led you to where you are today that you wanted to share? Or is that the gist of it?
I think God played later, not when we were younger, but more now. God plays a bigger part in our marriage than it did. So we're both calmer and get along good, better.
Good.
I'm calmer because I was always hyper, and I'm not hyper anymore. So
What are some hobbies that you guys have together?
the what?
Hobbies that you
Hobbies.
enjoy together?
You read.
We watch TV together, we read, Bible studies, church. That's about them. We're not very active, except for when we were traveling, but that's about it. We both like to read.
Do you keep any grandchildren or great-grandchildren?
We have 9 grandchildren, 1 in heaven, so that's going to be 10. And right now we have 4 3/4 great-grandchildren who, I guess that's one of our better pastimes, is playing with the babies and being part of their lives. That's the most exciting part of our age. That was one of the happy parts of being now, is our children are grown, our grandchildren are almost all grown, and now we have great-grandchildren who are the light of our lives.
That's wonderful. So all couples have struggles. Would you be willing to share one of yours? Tell me how you handled it and how you managed it as a couple.
Well, my biggest struggle, I think, when we were younger, was him being in the military and being away a lot. So there were times when it was very hard with him being away. But, and really, it turned out to be the biggest blessing of our lives because he gets a nice pension. So I have to be thankful for the years that I was feeling lost, and now I'm grateful. So sometimes we think one thing is one way, and it turns out to be a very good thing.
So how did you handle it while you were in the struggle?
Besides complaining. No, I mean,
Did you guys communicate it together? Like, did you communicate through it together?
Yeah, he knew how I felt, but it was something he was good at and something he wanted to do, so I just had to accept it.
It was a mini vacation once a month for 2 days.
But sometimes I got to go too. When the kids got older, then I used to go on some of the weekends,
That's fun.
so we shared that too.
That's nice.
And I got to meet the people he worked with, so it was very nice. And then we had they had balls and all kinds of things that we got to go to.
That's fun. So there were positive aspects of it
There
as
was a lot of
well.
positive aspects.
So when you would share your concerns about it, what was your response to her concerns about you being in the military?
It was more like it is what it is.
Really, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's take it where you can get it when you're living paycheck to paycheck, so it was an income.
What helped you to get through it?
Who? Which one?
Both of you as a couple.
I know it was never that big, great
It wasn't a big
thing
fight
that we
issue.
couldn't get along with it or anything, but that was a personal struggle for me.
It wasn't a big fight issue. It was just
Like we didn't fight over it, we didn't argue
Anxiety.
over it. It's just I was uncomfortable.
Yeah, that makes sense. Couples don't accidentally stay married as long as you have. What do you think are your strengths as a couple?
Well, now I thank God. I really do think God plays a big part. And we're both stubborn, so we don't give up.
choose your battles.
Choose your battles, that's wise advice. So do you have examples, some more examples of some of your strengths and what's helped you? How many years have you been married?
56 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a long time.
56 years and 2 months.
I think we're better together than we are apart. And I break things and he fixes them. He's always there to help me. And strengths and weaknesses.
Just strengths.
Just strengths. Yeah. I think we're better together. I think two people, especially our age, I think two people together is much easier to deal with. And I have friends that lost their spouses and it's very hard. So I'm thankful every day that I get with him.
Yeah. How do you imagine your future as a couple?
I don't think we ever did. I don't know. I always wanted a lot of kids, and I ended up with them now. I wasn't health-wise. I couldn't have any more.
Well, the
But-
future from now. What do you picture
From
days?
future
Yeah.
from now,
Mhm.
staying alive, being healthier, not. I mean, doing what we can for the family and being with family. That's our biggest thing, is being with family, I guess. And our church.
It's pretty much all the life we have. We don't even go to movies.
Because of the pandemic.
Yeah. It changed our lives a lot. But I think we dealt it very well. I mean, we didn't. I mean, I've seen other people get depressed and crazy about it, but I think we handled it really good. But I also give that thanks to God.
Is there anything in your relationship that you're presently working on?
That we're working on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trying to understand each other with the new hearing aids. Apparently, it's not working like they should.
Hearing each other. Yeah, I think we're just fine.
You're in a good place.
Yeah.
Some research suggests that cultivating and maintaining a friendship in a marriage is very important. Could you tell me how you relate as friends?
I'm sorry. Bring that one around again.
Sure. Some research suggests that cultivating and maintaining a friendship in a marriage is very important. Could you tell me how you relate as friends?
Well, I don't know when we were younger, but I think right now we're like we're like best friends. I know we had our trouble in the past, but I think we pulled through wonderfully. So I think we're friends.
So how would you say your friendship has changed over the years?
They just
Yeah, I mean, just that it wasn't as strong
It
years
wasn't
ago.
as strong,
Yeah.
no. We both had a lot of different ideas, and now we're closer in how we feel and think.
Do you have any advice for couples?
Communication, communication, communication. That's the biggest one, and don't go to bed mad.
Do you have anything to add?
Don't fight over small stuff. Like I said, pick your battles. Don't have an argument unless it really is a subject that has to be addressed. Otherwise, everything else is trivial.
Well, thank you very much.